I guess you can hear me very clearly, right? I just tested. Okay. Alright. Welcome back to my live broadcast. Okay, so this is Amy Lei, so the stock trainer from Homely Chart Company, and today is 9th October 2020, Friday, right? And today I want to talk about something interesting, but also very important. Yeah, it's interesting and important because have you ever imagined that the stock market is a cow? So have you ever heard of such kind of opinion? Okay, so this is my point of view about the stock market. And today I want to share with you why I say that the stock market is a cow. Recently, the stock market gives us a lot of ups and downs, and we got too much news, too much news about Trump and about the U.S. general election, about the economy, about the coronavirus, so much information. So sometimes we, just like what I mentioned in my video yesterday, we feel tired, right? So today I'm going to share with you something interesting. Let's relax a bit. Tomorrow is Saturday, right? So weekend. I hope you can enjoy your weekend. Okay, so the second part will be about individual stock diagnosis. Okay, so before we begin, I still need to remind you that all the stocks mentioned in the video are for the purpose of demonstration and education, not recommendation. Investors should be aware of the risks involved in stock trading and take full responsibilities for their own tradings. Okay, so here I show you. This is a cow, right? So why I say that the stock market is a cow? Okay, so why I say that the stock market is a cow? Okay, so it's not a normal cow. So this is a special cow, and we feed this cow with our money. Right? We feed the stock market with our money, and we wish to milk more money from it. So that's my feeling about the stock market. So if you think, wow, it's quite reasonable, right? Because you think that where the stock market, when you put the money in the stock market, you can earn more money. It's just like the cow. You feed the cow, then you can get milk. But this cow, it doesn't produce milk. It produces more money. So we feed the market with our money. So the purpose is to, after the cow produce more money, we get more money from it, right? But the truth is, in the stock market, the truth is, who has the privilege to milk this cow? Who has the privilege to milk this cow? Not everyone. The truth is, not everyone, especially not the ordinary investors who got the privilege to milk the cow. Wow, who's this guy? With smart suits, tuxedos, a lot of money. Yeah, this is the big boys. Okay, in the stock market, only the big boys got the privilege to milk the cow. And then you remember in my previous videos that I mentioned the Soros theory reflection, right? Soros, who has set up the famous quantum funds, right? Quantum funds, that's very famous funds. And then Soros has a theory about reflection. I mentioned this theory in my previous videos, right? And from this theory, you will realize that the big boys, the institutions, they actually are the one who can control the market movement. They are the initial and the final motivator of the market price movement. So they have the privilege to milk the cow. And then how about the ordinary retail investors? Okay, so we don't have such a privilege. That's why majority of retail investors in the stock market lose money, right? And then is there a way out for retailers? Just like I mentioned in my yesterday video, is there a way out for retailers? Well, the smart retailers, they learn to put a pipe under the big boy's milk bucket. So that's really smart. So not every retailer learn to do that. Only the smart retailers, they learn to put a pipe secretly under the big boy's milk bucket so that they also can share some of the milk, okay, with the big boys. Okay, so in order to get a share as a retailer, we need some help. We need the help of an indicator called Multicolor Dragon. Homely members, you're already very familiar with this Multicolor Dragon, right? So the full name is called MCD. In my previous videos, I always mention about this indicator, but I never share with you in quite details about Multicolor Dragon. So now I'm trying to show you the details about this indicator because Multicolor Dragon is the retailer's most powerful tool, or weapon. It's the retailer's most powerful weapon to grab some profits from the big boys. As a retailer, we are already the weak. We are already the weak compared with the big boys, right? And then how can we still make profits? This is like grabbing some profit from the big boys, right? So you need a tool to track the traces of the big boys and also ourselves, retailers, right? And also we have speculators who is also a major participant in the stock market. But speculators, they don't really influence greatly the rise and drops of the price movement. What has a big influence on the price movement is the participants of big boys and retailers. The two together determine the ups and downs. Okay, and Multicolor Dragon is the most powerful weapon to grab some profit from big boys because you can see very clearly by checking Multicolor Dragon whether or not the share has big boys participate and how much big boys are participating and how much retailers are in there by checking the value here, right? On the left side, you will be able to see the value 0, 25, 50, 75, 100. And for big boys, you read from the bottom to top, 0 at the bottom, 100 at the top. For the retailers, you read from top to bottom. This is 0 for retailer. This is 100 for retailer. Okay, so this is Multicolor Dragon, the meme components, and also we have another purple line. I also mentioned this purple line, which is the moving average for the big boys. It's very important. Of course, we have two other lines which are separately the moving average for retailers and speculators, but we simply want to focus on the purple line because big boys is the one we need to pay special attention, right? Okay, so you only need to know very well about these four components: red bar, big boy; yellow bar, speculator; and green bar, retailers; and purple line, moving average of the big boys. And in my previous videos, I shared with you the logic of the market movement, the price movement, which is money is the final, the only motivator to push the price up or push the price down, right? So I mentioned only with continuous money inflow can the price keep going up all the time at a great speed. So that's what we are dreaming of. Buy a stock and keep holding it, go up a lot all the time greatly. Seldom drop only a bit, not much, not big drops. So that's what we are dreaming about. And by following Multicolor Dragon, the big boys, you can achieve that goal. You can realize the dream. Okay, make the dream come true. If you follow the stocks with big boys around more than 50%, it's quite stable for a while, for a long time, then you will always be able to catch great profits. And if the big boys reach 75% and quite stable above 75%, then you can catch really, really greatest profits in the stock market. Let me show you some examples. Recently in my videos, for example, Singapore stock market, right? I mentioned about 九天 Chemical, right? I mentioned about 九天 Chemical. Okay, for 九天 Chemical, although it's not like the big boys can reach 75%, but roughly it's around 50%, right? We say this share still has big boys take control. Retailers less than or around 25%, and recently less than 20% and decreased to be zero. I have been mentioning 九天 Chemical for a while, right? In my recent videos, I frequently mention this because I know it has great potentiality, and you realize that after the first recycle, it dropped first, get support at a recycle, right? And then recent 3 days keep going up. Today it also went up by 3.7%. Okay, so this is one stock to show you how important it is to follow the big boys. Okay, and then remember iFast? I also mentioned about iFast a lot recently, right? Okay, so you see the price. Can you see the big boys here? It's around 50%, and it doesn't have retailers. Previous one for 九天 Chemical will still have some retailers for a while, then disappear, right? But for iFast, even we have a sideways area here, had a price sideways there, we don't have retailers. And then recently the purple line, you see it turn upward, and you see recently the price also get support at a recycle and then turn upward, keep going up. Today until now it's a 1.18%, but I tell you, Multicolor Dragon is to help us lock on or pick the strong stocks and when to buy, when to sell. You still need to refer to the Homely Rainbow for medium term to long term trading, which is this indicator. Homely Rainbow, colorful lines for medium term to long term, and red and white circle for short term, buy and sell. After for iFast, after the first recycle, I mentioned it on 14th September when we have the first recycle, right? We don't have the price really stand above the high price of the first recycle candle, right? So it dropped first, get support at the recycle, And then if we see the purple line turn upward again, so that's a perfect timing to consider enter, right? So several days ago I already mentioned this. Okay, if you have been following my videos, then you know it. And okay, and then do we have some other similar Singapore shares? Well, you can find it yourself. And in my previous videos, I also mentioned several others. You can monitor them, okay? And then how about US? For US market, we have much more powerful rallies than Singapore because we have more bullish shares. For example, this one is SunPower. This also belongs to the energy sector. Recently, the energy sector has been very bullish, right? And in my previous videos, I already mentioned to you about the energy sector. If you still remember my previous video, I forget which one it is, but I did have mentioned about energy sector, and SunPower is one of them. And you see the why it can be so strong. Sorry, I changed the stock. SunPower. Why it can be so strong? You see, ever since here, July the 8th, the big boys above 75%. It's quite stable until now, right? Although we have some ups and downs, but the big boys always around 75%. Retailers seldom appear, can disappear very soon. So the recent buy point, it comes 25th September. As long as you stick to the stocks with big boys taking control, and then you follow the buy and sell signal either for short term or for medium term. Short term, it's red and white circle. First red circle, you keep holding until now, right? And then for medium term, you follow the yellow lines. When the price break up the white lines, the yellow lines, all the homely rainbow lines and turn upward, we call it long-term reversal, right? You buy, and as long as the price remain above the yellow lines, you keep holding. So this is for medium term to long term trading. For short term, buy low, sell high, buy low, sell high. If you pick the right stock with big boys take control, even if sometimes you have only small profits, but you always can have profit. And if you are lucky and the market give you opportunity, you will have a big profit in a short time, 66% in just 10 trading days. Okay, that's amazing. And then this is for SunPower, and we have a lot for US market. We have a lot shares, and I also mentioned several in my videos, right? Let's say Sunrun. That's also it also belongs to the energy sector. Sunrun recently, also this rally is quite a handsome one, but last night we already have the first white circle. First white circle means short term. That's already a sell point. Okay, it's already a sell point. And then so many US individual stocks. Caterpillar, I also mentioned it previously. Caterpillar. Check. Recently, first circle until now. Previously, buy and sell. You can always secure profit as long as you see the big boys can be at least above 50%. It's quite stable, above 50%, no retailers. So you stick to this kind of share. So it's not possible that you cannot make money, and it's also not possible that you lose a lot of money. It's impossible. Okay, and then I really got so many EXPI. Okay, you see, big boys around 75%, quite stable, right? And then first the recycle. Recently, this rally is also a handsome one. You calculate how much. That's 41%, also in 10 trading days. And the previous rally is even much more crazy. You check this rally, that's more than double. Your profit is more than double in just 1 month, 27 trading days. So you see, that's how crazy it is. Of course, sometimes we might have false buy signal. This time, it doesn't work because the close price after the first recycle is never higher than the high price of the first recycle candle here, right? So that's why this time it failed. For short-term trading, it failed this time. You never have to enter based on the trading rules. But as long as you stick to this kind of share, keep monitoring, and then you always can make great profits. Okay, so that's about today's sharing about let's say the fact of the stock market, or the real essence of the stock market. The stock market, it is a cow where we can milk a lot of money from it, but only the big boys have the privilege to milk the cow. As a retailer, if you also want to share some profit with the big boys, you have to know where the big boys are. You also have to avoid those shares with retailers taking control. Okay, so Multicolor Dragon is the indicator you must check. Without Multicolor Dragon, making profit will be so much complicated for you, will be so difficult for you. But just with this simple indicator, suddenly making profit becomes so easy. Yeah, this is the truth about the stock market. Making profit can be easy, but you need to have that extra information. Okay, because I mentioned it's Friday, so I hope you can enjoy your weekend. So I don't want to let's say exert too much knowledge or trading skills on you. So today I try to make the contents entertaining for you, interesting. But I remind you, although it seems like quite interesting a metaphor, the stock market is a cow, but this is the truth. You know the truth, then you will know how to deal with the stock market in the proper way, how to finally make profit. Okay, and now it's the individual stock diagnosis time. Do you have any individual stock that you'd like to diagnose? What stock to check today? Okay, so firstly, we've got one, Capital R China Trust and AIY. AIY, is it iFast? iFast I just not mentioned, right? So no need to check iFast. And for Capital R China, Capital R China. Let's check this Capital R China. Capital R. Okay. Oh, this is Singapore stock. Okay, Singapore stock. Okay. Well, it has been very clear, right? So for this one, currently it's in rebound because recently we have the price above the we have the circle turn rate, means short term there might be a rebound, and yellow lines is acting as the resistance, but the price currently already break up the resistance, right? Currently price break up the yellow lines, resistance of the yellow lines, but how about the blue lines above? Based on Homely Rainbow, the blue lines and the white lines will be very strong resistance above. And if I put a cursor on the last blue line, the last blue line, the price is $1.22. $1.22 will be the final defense line for medium term to long term resistance line. And even if the price can break up $1.22, if the price continue going up, will meet the resistance between $1.27 and $1.30. So first target, first resistance level is $1.22, and the second is between $1.27 and $1.30. That's the resistance levels above. And then for this one, I mentioned technical analysis is about making friend with trend. For long-term downtrend stocks, we better not touch. We always stick to uptrend stocks with big boys taking control. If you check this one, obviously no big boys, right? This is a very sharp contrast between this capital R China and the shares, several shares I mentioned just now. It's a sharp contrast. Although maybe you can have some small profit for short term, no problem, but it's very tricky. You have to exert a lot of effort to get this small profit. But if you pick the right stock with big boys taking control, you can not only make profit, but also make profit with no effort, quite easily and safely. And what's small, it's bigger, much more bigger profit than this one. Unless this share in future, the big boys can reach to be more than 25% and can reach 50%, and the price really turn to long-term uptrend, then otherwise I will not touch it. Yeah, I only stick to the strong stocks. And trust me, if you follow my method, you will find making profit is really easy, so easy. Okay. And then some other shares, Meditech, right? Meditech, yeah, that's also a superstar. 546. We are waiting for the price break up the resistance around the yellow lines of Homely Rainbow. Of course, this one I'd say it has potentiality because at least the big boy is still above 75%. Wow, this is the strong stock with big boys taking control. The only problem is we need a purple line turn upward. Purple line I mentioned is the moving average for the big boys. We need a purple line turn upward so that the retailers can decrease and the big boys can increase. The price would be able to break up the resistance. Currently, we are still waiting. If the price break up the yellow lines here, I believe Meditech might give us another rally. It's once break up, I believe maybe there is a forceful rally. So this one still has the potentiality. Can keep monitoring. If you have bought, yeah, can keep holding. If you haven't yet, if the price break up the resistance level here, also can consider to buy. Okay, and this is for Meditech. Of course, you need to follow the indicator. If in future the indicator tell you a turn to bearish again for short term, you need to follow the circle to stop loss, because I mentioned the software success rate is not 100%. That's 87.4%. So sometimes if you are not lucky, you're wrong. Doesn't matter. You stop loss following the indicator, but most of the times you will be profitable and great profits. Especially if you stick to the stocks with big boys taking control. Risk is very low, but the potentiality is really great. Okay, and then the next one is Franken, right? Franken recently, well, finally we see break up the resistance of the yellow lines of Homely Rainbow, right? This share I also mentioned in my previous videos. I mentioned it when it was the first recircle, right? If you still remember. First recircle because we have the resistance around the yellow lines. So that's why we see a touch resistance drop to get support at the recircle. And recently, 7th October already break up the resistance. So we see at the same time the purple line is turning upward, is within the red bar. That's a good sign. And the retailers are decreasing, so that's a good sign. If you have bought, you can keep holding. And I also mentioned this one for you after this long bullish candle, right? So if you have bought, your stop loss is the half level of the long bullish candle here, right? So this is the stop loss level, half level of this long bullish candle. Up until now, considering it's still above, you can keep holding. And the good thing is the big boys start to increase because the purple line is turning upward. So that's good. If it continues, I believe the price can go up further in future. Okay. So this one is Franken. And then the other one is Intel, right? Do we have some other people? Now Intel is the last one. If you don't have some other shares to diagnose, I will call it a day to day. Intel, the last one. INTC. Oh, okay. So for Intel, the problem is obvious. So currently, the price has reached the resistance of the blue line and white lines of Homely Rainbow. For short term, it's in rebound. That's why we see after the first recircle, and then the price successfully stand above the high price of the first recircle. Then we have a short-term rebound, right? But rebound is rebound. It's not like it's in long-term, medium-term uptrend. You buy and you can keep holding maybe for a short time or maybe for a longer time to have a great profit. But for this one, your target level is already fixed. So first target and the second target is around the blue line and the white line. So if you put, you check currently the price touch the first blue line, right? This is already the resistance, and the last white line here is around $55. Okay, when the price faced with resistance and no energy supply, if big boys cannot increasing, so it's easy for the price to turn downward again. Okay, and also if you check purely on technical analysis, this is the downward gap, right? So this downward gap will be a very strong resistance, especially the top of this downward gap. If the rebound in near future really can be so strong, break up the white lines here, right? And then can continue going up. I believe when the price reach the downward gap, the top area here, it's not easy, really not easy for the price to break up. This will be very strong resistance. Yeah, this is based on pure technical analysis knowledge. Okay, but by checking the Homely Rainbow, you will know more details about the resistance levels here, right? And also by checking Multicolor Dragon, you will know how probably the price can break up the resistance levels here and continue going up. As long as energy supply is sufficient, the price would have higher probability to break up the resistance. Means we need a big boys increase. If it can increase to be more than 25%, we have a higher probability that the price can break up in future. If it can reach 50%, the big boys, then we have even higher probability that the price can break up the resistance. So you need to monitor Multicolor Dragon closely to see whether the big boys can increase and the retailers can really decrease to maybe to be zero. If it can decrease to be zero, that would be the best. Okay, so it seems like you don't have any other shares to check, right? So if no other share to check, then I will have to call it a day for today. But before we finish, don't forget to subscribe or follow my Facebook public page. You can search at Homely Emily on Facebook to get my public page called Trade with Homely Chart. This is my profile picture. Click like. Then when you enter my public page, you will be able to see my latest video, the video that is upcoming, or some other events. Okay, so if you feel this is helpful, interesting, feel free to share with your friends and allow more and more people come and join us to learn, improve together, right? Your support will be my biggest motivation. So have a nice weekend. Looking forward to seeing you next Monday. Bye bye.